And this weekend's tragedies seem to have motivated lawmakers in D.C. Some Republicans are proposing new red flag laws to take guns from people who show signs of threatening behavior, while many Democrats are focusing on things like universal background checks, renewing the assault weapons ban, and getting high-capacity magazines banned, which makes perfect sense. I mean, the mass shooter in Dayton had a gun that could fire 100 bullets before he needed to reload, which is insane. I don't care what anybody says. And I know some people will be like, we need guns to hunt. Yeah, but if you need 100 bullets to kill a deer, maybe you should try fishing. And while most legislators are trying to figure out which laws will curb future mass shootings, Fox News has chosen to spend most of their time telling people that shootings have nothing to do with guns. Starting with Mike Huckabee, who thinks we shouldn't have fewer guns, we should just have more God.
It's our cultural fault, and part of what we've done, we've created a culture in which we've said there is no God. The common denominator in all of this is not the particular weapon. It's the hate inside the heart. It's the loss of morality. It's that disconnecting from a God who values all people and who would never let me do that to another person. That's just not how we're hardwired from the Father above.
Yes, according to Huckabee and many people on the right, the real problem in America is not access to guns, it's a lack of access to God. So if people were more religious, then they wouldn't do bad things. My only problem with this argument, the whole God argument, is that everyone seems to have a different idea of what God is saying, right? He says, like, God and evil will never mix. If you have God in your heart, you're a good person. But think about it. In the Middle Ages, the Crusaders said God told them to kill people in the Middle East. Hell, in the 1960s in America, white evangelicals said God told them black and white people shouldn't mix. So either people pick and choose when and how to use God, or maybe God's just so far away he's hard to hear, you know? Yeah. Maybe it's the distance. He's up there like, love thy neighbor. And people are like, what? Black people should be slaves? Like, I honestly don't know where Huckabee's getting this from, because even in the Bible, people who are close to God still do really bad things, right? Like there's the story of King David. He literally walked with God all the time. Like they hung out together. But that didn't stop David from killing a guy just so that he could sleep with his wife. That's in the Bible, by the way. David loved God, but he loved ass just a little bit more. Yeah. Look at him in that painting. Look at him in that painting. He's going, oh, gotta get that ass. Look at that face. David's nasty. So that's Huckabee. Leave guns alone and get it to God. Now, if you don't think religion is going to solve America's mass shootings, luckily the Presidential Advisory Network has another solution. Instead of fewer guns, they just say we need more parents.
These young men have no father at home. So you have to go back to some of the institutions and ask yourself, what's different about America now?
Nobody really believes this is about Donald Trump or assault weapons. If only young men are the problem. No communities, no fathers, no mentors, no initiations into personal responsibility.
What happens when boys are dad deprived is they don't have a male role model to channel their testosterone constructively.
Why does that guy sound so creepy when he's saying that?
Okay, now, to be honest, I don't think this is the worst argument in the world, right? It does help young men to have a stable family life. But it's also hard to have a stable family life if your dad is getting gunned down at a Walmart. Like, I would love for every young man in America to magically have a perfect upbringing that helps get rid of their rage. But I have no idea how you're going to achieve that, right? Because you can write laws that'll regulate guns. You can't write laws forcing people to have a good family life. What? Is it just going to be like a dad at the door, like, kids, daddy's decided to run away with his secretaries. Like, actually, dad, the law says you have to stay. Oh, damn you, Congress. All right, let's go and play some catch. But as usual, the best, worst ideas on Fox can all be found in one place. Sean Hannity, primetime Fox News host and neck with hair. You see, according to him, America's problem isn't too many guns, it's not enough guns.
I have been calling for a long time. Every school, secure the perimeter of those schools, equip them with retired police and military. I want guys to donate 15 hours I think we could cover every school, every hour, every day, add a metal detector, and I think we're going to have safer schools. Have one armed guard on every floor of every school, all over every mall, the perimeter and inside every hall of every mall. Now, that gives us an instant response opportunity that we normally wouldn't have.
Every hall of every mall? That sounds like the bleakest Dr. Seuss book ever. In every hall of every mall, on every floor, in every door. We need a guard in every room, or we'll end up in the tomb. Good night, Pumpkin. Mwah.
Good night, Daddy. I'm glad the law made you stay.
Look, man, this isn't a new idea. After every mass shooting, Hannity and many other people say that having more armed guards everywhere is the only way to stop these shootings. What they seem to forget is that guns are everywhere in America. Parkland had an armed guard, but he was afraid to go in. The Country Music Festival in Vegas had armed guards, but the guy was shooting from the window of a hotel. And as for instant response, the police in Dayton, Ohio responded to that mass shooting in 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds, in fact. Think about that. That is an amazing job by those police. They could not have done a better job, and still 9 people were killed in 30 seconds. So, like, I don't think people think about this the right way. Like Hannity mentions schools and malls, but as we've seen, mass shootings can happen anywhere. So you're going to put an armed guard in every Walmart, every movie theater, every synagogue, every mosque, every church, every office building, every bar, every nightclub, every concert, every garlic festival? Huh? To have enough police for that, you realize we'd all have to become police. Yeah, and I don't want to be a policeman. I don't. I'm mixed. It's confusing. The white half of me would always be putting the black half of me over. I'd never get anywhere. And for me, the strangest part of this argument, honestly, is this. Hannity and Fox News talk every day about protecting American freedoms. But if everyone in America is forced to live in a world of perimeter fences, metal detectors, and armed guards in every hall, then it starts to feel like society is living in a prison, and the only thing that's free is the gun.